Hi everyone, so welcome back to a new video. Today is day 20 of our 30 days of JavaScript challenge, and now we have completed promises and time. And in the past few 8 days, 8 days, we covered a lot about promises and time, including various methods like set timeout, clear timeout, set interval, and so on. So now we have seen the various promises functions, and then set time functions. So now we will be moving on to JSON. Okay, and there are 8 questions on JSON, out of which four are easy and four are medium level, and we will be solving them one by one. And if there is some different concept coming in between, we will be discussing inside that question only, like we did in the previous question, like previous questions, and in the promises and all. So here we will be solving in the similar way. So this is the list of the questions that are present in the JSON module. And before moving on with the problem, what we will do, we will just get a small overlook of what is JSON, right? So let's move on to see what is JSON. So JSON is the JavaScript object notation. Okay, so it is basic object notation that we get from JavaScript. Okay, so like in object in JavaScript, we have a key and value pair. Same in the similar way, like this JSON also has key and values. Okay, so it is the complete similar idea is followed in JSON also. Okay, so this main use of JSON is when we are trying to exchange data while use in the web applications. Okay, so like when we are trying to send some data, or when we are trying to fetch some data, this is now it is usually done using JSON only, because it is like very lightweight format. Okay, and it is very easy to understand. Okay, so anyone with an idea of object can move on with get exchanging data using JSON, right? So this is basic of JSON. And it is now, before JSON, XML was used for like exchanging data and all, but now it has been replaced mostly by JSON, and we will be using JSON only in the upcoming days. And JSON is self-describing and easy to understand, and it has a structure of rules for the representation of data. Okay, so there are some things, or we can say there is a basic structure of JSON that needs to be followed. Like it should open and close, like this curly braces should be there before we try to write anything. So this is very important. Like in the objects we do, this is also followed in JSON. Okay, so it is very important to open and close the brackets, and it will have like a key value pair. Okay, so the way we use objects in JavaScript, right? Like let's say we have a JSON. Okay, where we are having name, and let's say my name is passed as Ankita. Okay, so now if we are trying to get the value Ankita in like in JavaScript object, what we used to do? Let's say our object name is const names. Okay, so what we used to do, we were just getting names dot name, right? In JavaScript, we used to do this. Similar pattern will be followed in JSON also, because it is the object notation of JavaScript only. So there will be negligible difference between the JSON and the object in JavaScript. Okay, so and the important we have an important function, right? This is the parse method, in which what we do, if we have a JSON string, okay, then it converts it into JavaScript object, or we can say JSON object. So if we have a JSON string, then we can use JSON.parse to convert it into JSON object. Okay. So this is an important function. And moving on in the means in the upcoming question, if we come across any new methods or any requirement like that, we will see there. Okay. So now let's move on to the first question. Okay. So the first question in this module, or we can say in the JSON, is object empty? So let's see what they have told us in this question. We have been given an object or an array. Okay. And what we need to do is we need to return it if it is empty. Okay, an empty object has no key value pairs, means if an object is empty there will be no key value pairs, and an array is empty if it is like there are no elements inside it. So what we need to do that like if it is empty then we need to return true. Okay, and if it is not empty then we need to return false. True is equals to empty and false is equals to not empty. Now the question is how we will solve this question, right? Because we can either be given an array or we can be given like an object. Okay, so in this question where we had an, if let's say we just had an object, then we could have just used size, and if this was greater than 0 we could have written like false, and if it was equals to 0 in the else condition simply we would have written true. And if simply we would have an idea that it could be an array, then what would have done, like we have, let's say we have an array named arr, then we could have taken the arr dot length, right, and we would have checked like in the similar way. But now we are seeing here that it can either be an object or it can be an array, right? Now we need to know if we are using size or length, and let's say we are using dot size here, and we get come across an array, then it will not work, because this the function that calculates length for an array is dot length, that length array, right? So in order to like process this in a way that both the conditions are satisfied, we need to have a common ground. Okay, and in the note of this question it was mentioned that we need to try to complete this question is in O of 1. Okay, like O of 1 we need to try to complete this. Okay, so let's move on to the approach, and we'll see how to solve this question. Now let's see the approach. Okay, so as I said that we will need to know that whether the whatever this variable we are whatever structure or whatever data structure we are getting, either it is an object or an array, we need to know that first, right, so that we can use the required way to calculate the size. So what we will do, we will check if this variable or whatever input we are getting is an array. If it is an array, what we will do, we just need to see here that if the object is empty then we need to return true, right? So what we have to do, we will check if this object is an array. If it is an array, then what we will do, we will check whatever let's say this variable name is obj only, so we will check obj dot length is equals to 0 or not. If it is 0 then we will directly return true. So in our return statement we can just write this, right? So one condition we will check here is if our object is array or not. If it is not array, right, so in else condition we need to check here specifically that there should not be any key value pairs. Okay, so in such condition what we need to do in our return, okay, what we will be using now since it is not an array, it is for sure an object. Now we will be using object dot keys. We will be passing our object here. Okay, so now when we use object dot keys, what we get, when we get send object dot keys, we will be getting an array of keys, right? Object dot keys and obj. So this will give us an array of keys. Okay, so let's say we have we take a variable here, and what we will do, we will be taking object dot keys obj. Now we will get an array of keys, and for the same what we will do, we will check here arr dot length is equals to 0 or not. If it is equals to 0, what we will do, similarly we will return true, otherwise it will simply return false. Now how do we check if our object or whatever input we are getting is an array or not? So there is a specific function. Okay, this array has a function called isArray. So how do we use this array collection? Has a function called isArray. Okay, so we use it like array dot isArray, and here we pass our input which is obj. So if array dot isArray, our object, means if this array is an array, then it will become true, and what we will do, we will simply take the length. Otherwise, if it is an object, then what we will do, we will get all the keys, right? And if that array length of keys is 0, then we will return true, otherwise we will return false. So this is the simple approach for this question. Okay, now let's move on to the code, and if there are little doubts, it will be cleared with that. So let's see the code now. Okay, so what we will do here, we will first check if the means input we are getting is an array or not. So how we will check? If array dot is array, in this we will pass the input. If it is an array, then what we need to do, we simply check if the length is equals to 0 or not. If the length is equals to 0, then it will simply return true, or otherwise it will become false. So here we will check obj dot length is equals to 0, and if it is true, it will return true. If it is false, it will return false. In such cases, like the else part, now we know that this is not an array, then it will surely be an object. Okay, so now we know that this is an object, then what we will do, we will take the length of the keys. Okay, length of the, or the number of keys present. So I'll simplify it. Here what we will do, we will get the number of keys in the array. So let arr, and here I will get object dot keys. This will return us an array of keys from the object. Okay, now what we will do, we will check here arr dot length is equals to 0 or not. If it is 0, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Now let's try to run this code. So the sample test cases are passed. Let's try to submit it. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. And in case of any doubts, please let me know that also, so that I can clarify it more. And in order to continue with me in this journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.